Let's talk about that yogurt in your fridge. You know, the one you bought thinking it was all about gut health and living a healthier lifestyle. Well, it's probably not what you think it is. What if I told you everything you believe about it is just a really, really well-crafted marketing story? It's time to peel back the lid.
So I'm just going to ask you straight up, is that healthy yogurt you bought actually a lie? I mean, studies show that a shocking 8 out of 10 preschoolers in Canada get way too much sugar, and flavored yogurt, it's one of the biggest reasons why. But believe me, the deception goes way deeper than just sugar.
$1.7 million. Just let that sink in. That's how much one of Canada's most trusted yogurt companies had to pay up after a class action lawsuit exposed their completely misleading health claims. But you want to know the most shocking part? Those exact same products are still on our shelves today.
And that really gets to the heart of the problem here, what I like to call the healthy yogurt illusion. We're about to dive into the huge gap between what's promised on the package and what's actually inside. And we're going to start with one of the most famous brands on the entire planet.
So just look at the contrast here. It's pretty incredible. On one side, you've got the promise Activia was selling for years, that it was clinically proven to help with digestion. And on the other side, the cold, hard reality, a lawsuit forced them to literally scrub those exact words from all their advertising and packaging.
And this wasn't just some one-time thing. Oh no, that 2012 Canadian lawsuit for $1.7 million, that was just the tip of the iceberg. As you can see right here, in the U.S., the Federal Trade Commission slapped Danone with a $21 million penalty, and another class action cost them $35 million, all for the exact same deceptive claims.
So here's the kicker. The entire brand was built around this special probiotic strain, one they even gave a fancy marketing name, BL regularis. But the truth is, that strain has zero approved health claims in Canada or the European Union. Legally speaking, it's all completely unsubstantiated.
So you see, it's not just about claims that they can't prove, it's also about what they're actually putting in the yogurt. So for this next part, we're going to decode some of the deceptive ingredients that are hiding in plain sight.
All right, take a look at this. It's a real eye-opener. The bar on the left shows that a single cup of Yoplait has 17 grams of sugar. Now look at the bar on the right. That is Health Canada's recommended maximum daily added sugar for a child, which is 19 grams. Think about that. One tiny yogurt pretty much wipes out their entire limit for the day.
And you know what gives some of those yogurts that bright strawberry red color? It's something called carmine, or E120. And what is it? It's a coloring made from crushed cochineal insects. Yeah. Now, it's not dangerous or anything, but let's be honest. Most of us have no idea we're feeding our kids ground-up beetles for breakfast.
This chart really puts it all together. You can see how brands like Activia, Yoplait, and Oco stack up against each other. And you start to notice a pattern, right? High sugar, red flag ingredients like carrageenan or carmine. And look at this crucial detail. The same parent companies, like Danone and General Mills, are behind all these different products.
The contradictions are just stunning. Take Ioga, for instance. They built their whole brand on having no artificial flavors. But if you look at their 0% line, it has sucralose in it, which is an artificial sweetener. And the worst part? Recent research has linked it to disrupting gut health. You know, the very thing yogurt is supposed to help with. Okay, so that's the bad news. And I get it, it's super frustrating. But the good news is, you can absolutely fight back with a little bit of knowledge. So let's switch gears and get to the solution. A simple, practical guide on how to find yogurt that is actually genuinely good for you.
Here it is, your 3-step guide. And honestly, it could not be simpler. Number 1, ignore all the flashy promises on the front of the container. Just flip it over and read the ingredients list first. 2, check that sugar number. If you see anything over 10 grams per serving, that's a pretty good sign it's loaded with added sugar. And 3, my personal favorite rule, just ignore the front of the pack completely. It's marketing, not nutrition.
So what are you actually looking for on that ingredient list? Well, here are the big red flags. Modified starch, that's just an industrial thickener. Carrageenan, that's been linked to gut inflammation. Artificial sweeteners can mess with your gut microbiome. And the sneakiest one, natural flavors, which is such a vague catch-all term, it tells you pretty much nothing.
So, what's the simplest, most powerful strategy you can use? Just buy plain yogurt. That's it. It has the fewest ingredients and no added sugar. If you want it to be sweet, great. Add your own fresh fruit. You get to control exactly what goes in it.
Okay, now it's time for the final piece of this puzzle. Have you ever wondered why so many different yogurts seem so similar, often with the same questionable ingredients? Well, that brings us to the corporate giants behind the brands on the shelf. The illusion of choice is a very powerful thing.
This chart shows you the reality. You walk down the aisle and you think you're choosing between Astro and Iogo and Olympic and Siggy's, but as you can see, they are all owned by one company, Lactalis. Same story with Danone. They own Activia and Okos. Saputo owns Dairyland. It turns out a tiny handful of massive corporations control almost the entire yogurt aisle.
So are there any good options out there? Yes, there are, but you gotta know a few things. Brands like Olympic Organic Plain, Siggy's, and Tree Island Yogurt have much cleaner ingredient lists. But like we just saw, some of them are still owned by the big guys, and they almost always come with a higher price tag and can be harder to find.
So in the end, it really all comes down to this one question. The yogurt aisle is basically a battlefield between your actual health and their multi-million-dollar marketing budgets. But now you can see behind the curtain. So the choice is yours.